The morning after the explosion dawned with rare silence in the SCU office. Outside, the press and public waited for answers. Inside, something had changed. Su Lian stood on the rooftop ledge of the building, bandaged hand curled around a warm coffee mug. Last night he did not realize he had injured his hands along with other bruises. The sky was heavy but still holding its tears. Footsteps approached. He didn't need to turn and just said, "You're late, Chief." Liang Wei stepped beside him, another cup in hand, casually speaking, "And you're up too early for someone who almost got blown up. Didn't want to miss the sunrise." Su Lian replied, his tone dry but soft, though Haigang's sun rarely makes an appearance. There was a pause, quiet and weightless. Liang Wei finally said, "You did well yesterday." Su Lian's brows lifted slightly. Praise from Liang Wei was rarer than the sun he thought. "I didn't think the team would go along with the trap idea," he said. "But they did. And you made sure it worked," Su Lian said with gratitude. Liang Wei looked away and said in a nonchalant manner, "Because you earned their trust, mine too." Su Lian blinked, surprised. Liang Wei wasn't a man of many words, but this was something else. "A shift," Liang Wei added quietly. "You were willing to risk yourself for the truth. That's something this job can take from you over time, and such beliefs are lost," he said, looking at him, and then his gaze shifted to Su Lian's injured hand and he added, "Nonetheless, don't be so reckless next time. You don't need to jump in fire." Su Lian turned, his voice unusually gentle. "You haven't lost your beliefs and I won't lose mine, and I owe you one chief." Liang Wei looked at him and nodded. But soon Su Lian added with a bit of teasing, "But you will save me again if I do jump, right?" Press conference was called. The SCU team entered the hall, flashes burst from cameras. Behind the podium, Liang Wei stood tall, arms still wrapped in bandages identical to Su Lian's hands. Su Lian was beside him, calm and composed. It was his first press conference. "Liang Wei, begin. The Special Crime Unit has successfully uncovered and dismantled a high-level corruption and murder conspiracy led by Wei Kong, vice chairman of Jinhai International." Murmurs erupted. Liang Wei continued. "Wei Kong was apprehended early this morning in a joint operation. We have irrefutable evidence connecting him to the murders of Luo Zhihao and Shen Yijun, the bribery chain, and the attempted assassinations of SCU officers." Questions erupted from the crowd, but Liang Wei continued with sharp control. "We thank our intelligence team, forensic department, and field agents for their efforts. This case would not have reached its conclusion without the strategic work of our psychological analyst, Su Lian, who crafted the trap that led to Wei Kong's exposure." Reporters turned their cameras to Su Lian as he stood in the spotlight. He did not smile, but there was flicker of recognition in his eyes. Flashback. Wei Kong, confident and smug in his glass-walled penthouse, welcoming a fake investor linked to laundering scheme of money, which was actually planted by SCU. Su Lian's voice rang in Liang Wei's earpiece. He's about to make the call, confirming the payoff route. At Liang Wei's signal, the SCU stormed in. Wei Kong, stunned, realizing too late that the trap was set long ago, from the moment he underestimated a pale young man with soft eyes and steel spine, who did not get scared by the bomb. Later that evening, back at headquarters, the tension had lifted. The SCU team gathered in the back room underscored Zhao Chen, tossing Su Lian a soda of his usual sarcastic jab. "You're still reckless," he said, "but you're growing on me." Lin Qian nodded. "You think 2 steps ahead, we needed that. If you didn't think of exposing his affair with his secretary's wife, he would have never gone to jail." Even Yan Rui grumbled. "At least your profile work makes my job easier." Su Lian chuckled. "High praise coming from you all I did was buy his secretary." Jiang Kai raised a toast with water in a plastic cup. To Su Lian, the man who lured the monster out of the shadows. Lian's eyes flicked to Liang Wei, who stood at the edge of the group, quiet as always underscore, but when their eyes met, Liang Wei gave him a barely perceptible nod. That meant more than 100 words. As the team dispersed that night, Liang Wei found himself with Su Lian down the quiet corridor. "You're staying on, right?" Liang Wei asked casually. He knew there was a chance Su Lian gets transferred back if he wanted. He didn't like the idea, so he asked, though his tone gave away how uncasual the question really was. Su Lian smiled faintly and said, "I don't like unfinished stories, and I am becoming accustomed to this place." Liang Wei felt a bit unknown relief. He smirked slightly and said, "Good, because the next one is about to begin." They stopped at the elevator. The silence between them was no longer awkward, it was familiar, comfortable, something new.